Now here, today's video is about one way you can use to lower your blood pressure naturally without medication. And that one way is by picking up a hobby. Hobbies are a wonderful way to help calm you, to help relax you, and by doing those two things, they help to lower your blood pressure. Now, I know there are some hobbies that will make your blood pressure go up, such as some people have a hobby of jumping out of planes. But today, we're not talking about those types of hobbies. We're talking about hobbies that you can sit down and relax while you're doing them. And because you relax, being creative, this helps to lower your blood pressure naturally without medication. Now, this video is not suggesting that you use hobbies as a way to keep your blood pressure low, because most people are not able to do a hobby 24/7. But what it is suggesting that you can use hobbies to help lower your blood pressure and possibly help keep your blood pressure low by allowing you to not think about the stressors that you have during the day and allow you to be calm and relaxed. There are many hobbies that you can do that will afford you to do these things, such as knitting, crocheting, sewing, needle pointing. Some people like to do macrame. Some people like to do crossword puzzles. Any hobby that you can do that, again, allows you to be creative and allows you to relax and be calm will help to lower your blood pressure. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a Glam Tissue Box holder. And we're going to be making it out of all the items from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you've been in the Dollar Tree lately, but they have stepped up their game and they have a lot of supplies that crafters use in their different choiced hobbies. And today we're going to make our Glam Tissue Box not from cardboard, not from foam board, but we're going to use what is called canvas panels. And I hope that you can see here, it's the canvas panels that you're able to get from the Dollar Tree these days. This size is an 11 by 14 inches. And the reason I've chosen panels is because two reasons. They are stronger than foam board. They're stronger than cardboard. And because, well, this is a third reason, and because the canvas has a nice linen finish that you can use just with your hobbies and not have to cover it, decorate it, or put anything on it. Or you can use the linen side of the panel as the inside of your project. That will make it look finished. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use the linen side of the panel as our finished side so we don't have to cover the inside. So if you're interested in making a Glam Tissue Box, stay tuned. Okay, now I have gone ahead and I have made my markings of the measurements that we're going to be using. Oops, the measurements, there we go. The measurements we're going to be using to make this Glam Tissue Box holder. I suggest that if you use the Crafter Square canvas panel, It comes in a plastic covering. I suggest you leave it in the plastic covering because when you make your marks, and the way I made mine, as you can see, on the plastic covering. And I used a pencil because I used a pen because a pencil would be extremely difficult to see the markings. I made my markings on the plastic, and then I made my scoring on the board using the scoring tools that I got from the Dollar Tree. And if you can see the markings that I've made, the markings here, and here, here, and here, and I scored the canvas board with the markings in the plastic. When I finished, I then was able to bend the box to the markings that was made, and it came out perfect. I also made a template for the opening in the middle, and you want to keep your templates because you may want to make this again. So I'm going to keep that plastic tissue with the markings and the template. We're going to put that to the side because when I decide to make this again, and I will because I'm going to make one for a male, my brother, I can just wrap the canvas in the plastic, make the markings according to the measurements, and I'm good to go. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see that I went ahead, because I don't want to make this video long, I went ahead and started taping. And today I'm going to use this side for my decorations because I want to use the canvas side, as you can see. Look how beautiful that looks. I want to use the canvas side as my inside because it's already finished. It does not need to be decorated unless, of course, you want to decorate it. But I'm going to use this as my inside. And this is what the outside looks like once you score and bend. And so, in order to make this smooth before we decorate, I have taken my tape, and I prefer to use the heavy-duty duct tape because it stays where it's put, and it does not interfere with decorating. So I've taken this, and I've put it on all of the joint areas, like so, to fortify these areas so that they will not lift up when we get ready to decorate. Okay, those edges will be smooth and they'll be strong. This will be a box that we don't have to worry is going to come apart because the glue might wear out. Okay, and I'm going to do this edge as well, so you can see, so that also will be taken care of. Cut your tape a little bit beyond the end because you'll be able to make a nice corner edge. Just take and clip the middle of it. Fold one edge first and then the top edge over. Okay, do the same for the other side. Fold one edge over and the top edge down. And as you can see, all nice and neat. Edges are fortified. As you can see. Before we started the video, I had already cut out the template. And now I'm going to take that as well, because we don't want these little frayed ends to get in the way of our decorations. So I'm going to take these edges like this. Pull your tape a little bit longer than the opening. Okay? Just a little bit longer. And what you want to do is, at an angle, cut one side, at an angle, cut the other side so that we meet the corner of that tape and fold it down. Okay? Fold it down. And as a result of that, we are able to get the corners as well. Okay? Now you might have to clip this little edge here in order to get it to fold down nice and neatly. And that's what we'll do. And as you can see, fold it down, and now that edge is nice and smooth without having anything peeling up like so. Okay? Now I'm going to do the other side, and I'll get back to you. And now I've done that. So now you can see we don't have any frayed edges sticking up. And when we turn it over, we'll see how neat that looks. And it looks so neat because, first of all, we use the clear tape, so it almost disappears. And you want to make sure you press down and make sure that tape is securely there. And it looks beautiful in case we decide not to do any type of decorations for the inside. Okay, so that's done. Now let's get to decorating. Now you can choose different materials in your decorations. If you were making this box for a man, say your father, your brother, or uncle, grandpa, you might want to choose fabric like this, faux leather, and cover the outside of the box. I think this fabric would be excellent for covering that box, and any man would love to have something like that. If you choose a different type of fabric, such as the white faux fabric that most of us can get from Walmart, you can choose that to cover it. But I am going to choose not to use any fabric at all from my box because I want it to bling. So I'm making a glam box. Now, before you start to decorate and put all of that creativity on the box, make sure that you test it on the tissue boxes that you intend to use it on. The reason you want to do that is to make sure that it fits. So, this is the box that I generally use for my tissue box. And one of the reasons, again, that I chose canvas is because it's stronger than cardboard or foam board. And as you can see, look at how beautiful that's set on. It covers the entire box. Okay, so now we know that our measurements were spot on and that the box will withstand us pushing it down onto the tissue box. So now we are confident that we can go ahead and start decorating our box. Okay, now once you decide how you want to decorate your box, and as I said, I'm going to decorate mine using what we call glam items. Some of these items you may have to pick up from Walmart because now that Dollar Tree is selling more crafters supplies, they're running out very quickly. So I'm using the iridescent glitter that I bought from Walmart. I'm also going to be putting, for my box, I'm going to be using what are called glass bugle beads. And I have been a sewer for more than 55 years. And I used to make, in my other life, handmade beautiful wedding gowns from scratch. And I always loved how these bugle beads glisten. And so I'm going to be putting some of this on my box. Now, because I'm using a box of this size, I might need to have all of these or maybe 2 of these for my box, but we will see. And Dollar Tree now carries Mod Podge. Yes, they carry both the gloss and the matte. Mod Podge, yes. So if you run out and you go to Walmart and they're not stocked up, you can pick up some from Dollar Tree. So now, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I also have glass seed beads as well, which I might add a little bit to my decorations for my box, but we will see. Again, these you have to get from Walmart. And they do have some at the Dollar Tree. However, they don't have it in as much of a size as this. And they're usually in the little cellophane bags, and they're different colors. So for me, I prefer to just go ahead and get it from Walmart, and they cost $1.97. $1.97 from Walmart. This was $2.97 from Walmart. And again, the Mod Podge, it's $1 each from Dollar Tree. Okay. You want to get yourself a brush, and I bought a bag of brushes from Walmart a few years ago, and the bag had 25, and I believe I spent something like $7 for it, and this was definitely well worth the money because I haven't even used 5 of the brushes. But this is the size brush I'm going to use to apply my Mod Podge onto the box. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is make a mixture. Oh, look at how pretty that looks. Look at how pretty that looks. Now, I suggest you take some ordinary copy paper and make yourself a barrier, or almost like a cloth, a tablecloth. If you don't have some sort of paper that you can put your project on, tape it and use that as the area that you're going to put your box on and sprinkle either your sprinkles or bugle beads. Some people like to use crushed glass, but you want to put it on some sort of paper that when you finish and you will pleased with what you have done, you can then take that paper and pour the leftover excess back into your cup, your bottle, whatever you use to store. So there we have. See? Okay. So now we're going to take our box, put it here, so when I sprinkle, I can then take the excess off, and then take this and pour it back into the jar. All right. Now, shake up your Mod Podge very well. Now I have 2 gloss and 1 matte. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my matte to lay down my glue. And you want to check your box and make sure you don't have anything sticking out that could possibly keep the glue from adhering or sticking to the surface. Okay, now you can do this one of 2 ways. Okay, you can pour it on and then paint it, okay, or you can put it in here and apply it. I prefer to pour it on and paint it myself because I feel I have more control that way. Now, let me mix up here's my bugle beads. I'm going to mix it in with my glitter. And I don't want to put the whole box, maybe just half of it. And it has a little snap up at the top there, a little snap. Okay, so I am mixing about half. I'm using about half of that. Okay, and I'm going to mix it in with my glitter. I'm going to mix it in with the glitter. Okay, because I want mine to really sparkle. Okay. And I have my glass seed beads. And I'm going to pour that in. I don't want a lot because it has silver. I just want a little bit of it. There's 2, $1.97 at Walmart. Take and mix. Stir it up. Because we want to get it as even as we can possibly get it. Look at how pretty that is. Look at how pretty that is. Okay. All right. So now we are ready to begin to decorate. Now see, you don't want to put too much of the Mod Podge on because you want to be able to make an even spread, okay, of it without it being too much and causing clumps, because you can get clumps if you put too much Mod Podge, or glue for that matter, on, and it soaks into one area. And we don't want that. But make sure you put a generous amount because of the fact that you want the glitter to adhere. Okay, so now we're going to start in the middle and go slowly out to the edges. And as you can see, this is why we put the paper underneath it, so that we can catch all of that excess. And you want to do one side at a time when you do this, because you want to make sure you get complete coverage. Okay, there we go. Look at how pretty that looks. Look at how pretty that looks. Isn't that just gorgeous? And yes, you're going to have to do this more than once. That's why you want to try to save as much of your sparkles as possible, because you will be doing this more than once. Okay. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Look at that. Isn't that just to die for? Okay. Now, we've gotten this side done. And there are some spots that you're missing. But again, you're going to go over this at least twice. So now, remember the reason we took? Look at that. And put it on the paper so that we could catch all of the excess. And look at how pretty that looks. Look at that. Okay. Now we can set that to the side there. And we can now take the paper that caught the excess, okay, and try to keep it all on that paper, because you want to be able to use as much of it as possible. And just lift and pour. It looks like you got almost all of it. See? We are now ready to do another side. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Okay. Now, I'm going to do this side to show you, and then I'll take it off camera and finish it up, and then show you what the next step will be. Again, we're going to take our Mod Podge. Not going to put a whole lot though. And we start to paint it. We're going to spread it as evenly as possible. Okay. Spread it as even as possible, because we want it to cover the whole entire box. Make sure you get it over those edges, because you want those edges covered as well. And now we just spread it And there we go. See? And make sure if you want the edge of the inside covered, like I do, you want to make sure that you get that glue on that inside. Now that's a beautiful covering. We have all of the edges, making sure all the edges are covered. And this might have been just a little bit too much, but it will all work out because we're going to also use it. We're going to cover it again. Okay. Now, we may have to add some more. So let's do that. And what I like about the Walmart tops, it has openings that you can shake if you want to get out. The openings. I don't know if you can see there. Myself, I'm going to pour it. I don't have the patience for waiting for it to come out. And I poured it. Okay? Again, we're going to use our bugle beads. And we're going to use our seed beads. Not too much because it has silver in it. And I don't want the silver to overwhelm the box. We're going to mix. Mix it up well. And now we're going to sprinkle. And you're going to try your best to be as even-handed as you can be with it because you want to make sure you get everything covered. All the areas covered. And as you can see, having that paper underneath was perfect because we definitely want to catch the excess so that we can use that excess. As you can see, we got the whole top covered. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, once again, we're going to take it off the paper. And we're going to shake off the excess. Okay. Put it on the side. And as you can see, we have a little of our glue that got to the side. Yeah, we just, no big problem. We'll just spread it out so that we can use it. Okay. All right, let's put that to the side. Remember, we have excess that we can use. I'm going to put this back in the bowl so we can use it again. how much we got left. And I think we may be able to put a little bit more in there. We're going to add a little more. And this jar is a 4-ounce jar. So it is going to really do the job covering this entire box. Add a little more. Again, we don't want to add too much because it has silver in it, and I don't want the silver to overwhelm the design. And you want to do the sides, the small sides last, because you need to be able to lift the box. And if you're doing all the sides, then it would be difficult trying to do that. Now here it's going to be a little tricky because I am going to, now I can put my hand inside there to put glue on, but I'm not. And this is the reason why we're not going to do the sides just yet. We'll do the sides last because we need to be able to pick the box up without getting the glue all over our hands. So let's do this side now. Let's glue this side up. And again, you don't want to put too much glue on that it's dripping all over the place, but you want to put enough that it will hold on to the glitter and be sturdy and stay. Don't forget, we're going to come back again. Okay? We're going to come back again. Now you want to hold it yourself with one hand this time and pour, because it would be difficult trying to pour it with it sitting up. So just pour. And look at how beautiful that looks. Now you can do this also doing, using, look at that. Look at that. And you want to tap it a little bit just to get the extras off. Now look at how beautiful that box looks already, and we are not even finished yet. Look at how beautiful that looks. Again, let's put it to the side. And let's pour the excess back into the bowl because we want to use as much of it as we can again. Shake it real good to make sure you get all of it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to allow this to dry, come back in about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to do these 3 sides again. I'm going to put more because I really want it to. And we're back. And as you can see, the box has been decorated on all sides. and it's now ready for its second coating. And as we did before, we're going to prepare our mixture. Sometimes you have some imperfections that you need to take out or leave if you so desire. And I think what I'm going to do is start with the top this time. So I'm going to put a few more bugle beads in, because again, I want this to really pop. Shake up our glue. And once again, we're going to mix our mixture because we want it to be even, or as even as possible. And just as I did earlier, I'm going to do again. I'm going to pour my glue on. And again, you do what is comfortable for you. Some people would prefer to put it in a bowl and scoop it out. Myself, I prefer to just pour it, because for me, I feel like I have more control with putting my glue on. And you want to make sure that every area gets covered, because again, we want this to really pop. So you want to make sure that the corners and the edges get covered. And sometimes with a second coating, you might have to put a little bit more, pour it a little thicker, because it's going on top of glue that has already been there, and the decorations. So you might have to put a little bit more on. And that's okay. I think we can handle that. And make sure it's all brushed and even, because every nook and cranny needs to get coated. And remember, we are, at least for this project, I'm covering the edges. Okay, I think we got all of it covered, and we are ready once again to pour. So let's try our best to cover this. Look at how gorgeous that is. Look at how gorgeous that looks. And there's no thin or thick way of doing this. It's how you prefer it to be. And you might have to lift it a little bit to make sure you get all those edges. Because again, we want this to pop. There we go. There we go. Sure the inside edges get it. Look at how beautiful that is. That is absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, with the second coating, it looks like everything got covered. Okay, once again, I'm taking mine from the sides and there we go. You might want to tap it just to get all of the loose. Look how gorgeous that is. Every inch covered. Beautiful. So now we'll put this to the side and we'll salvage the excess. Because we want to be able to use as much of it as we can possibly get or save. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at how the bugle beads are showing up on that. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and finish covering the entire box with its second coating. And then I'll come back. Isn't it just gorgeous? And as you can see, I've already put it on top of a tissue box. Look at how beautiful it is. And it covers the entire tissue box, where you don't have to make a bottom to it. Well, there you have it. One hobby that can help calm you, relax you, and again, lower your blood pressure. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you'll join us again. Please don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe.